Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we'll continue from where we stopped in our last class, and today we're talking about props and how to pass data into components, right? So now let's get started. I'll be using CAD as a case study, just the same way I told you in the last class. And to proceed from there, I'll be passing some props into this component. And to go ahead to do that, I'll be passing title and description. Title and description, as you can see here. Title and description. And here, instead of my card, I'll say title. Title. And for this, I'll remove this. I'll remove this. So for this guy, I will just say description. Description. I'll remove this too. So everything should be intact now. Now that I've passed, this is a prop. I passed two props into it now. This is a prop. So as this component is now, I can reuse it anyhow, right? But then before that, let me quickly add a class name to this and quickly style it. Now that we've created the props, and I want to quickly add the CSS file so that we can style the component, but that is not our main focus for today's class. So we just follow through and just I've provided some kits or snippet for this component, so you can just go ahead and do that. So I'll create card.css. So after I've created it, I will import it quickly. So I want to import it, and I'll just say card.css. Card.css. And so I'll just copy and paste some styling that I already have into this. So you can go ahead and just copy it from your own end to this CSS file. So I've created it. So okay. So you can just quickly go ahead and do that from your own end. Try and quickly type it out. So now I want to implement the data. I want to pass the data into the component now. So back to my app.js, right? So I'm gonna create some variables now. I'll call the variable cards data. So I'm gonna be passing it inside an array. So and inside that array, I'll be passing some of my objects into it. I'll call this ID1, right? I'll call this titled. You remember the props I created for that card, right? It's titled and what and description. Let me quickly show you this title, right? This title. So this title now is what I'm using now. Then I'll say the title is React React Basics. React Basics. So let me stringify it. React Basics cards data. So and if you look at it very well, then I'll proceed to have my description. So to check it very well so that you don't misspell it, you can quickly check the props from the component and just impute it. Then we have then you can call it like learning component, right? So you can just leave it that way. Learning component props, learning component and props. Now from here, let me just copy and paste this. Then I can easily just change it. So this is 2. So you can call this reusable component. Reusable components, right? So you can just call it build once, and reuse everywhere, right? So let's go. So now I want this. So okay, for this also I'll say this is 3, and this can just be modern React, right? So modern React, and you can easily just call it modern React. We are still going to be using state, right? State, props, and hooks, right? So let me just use that 3 alone. So and you can just populate it from your own end and see how it looks like. So I'm going to remove this 2 now. I'm going to remove that 2 data now. So now to implement the component, to use it multiple times, right? So I'm going to say that this variable cards data that I initially created, right? So I'm going to say dot map, right? I'm going to map it. And what am I mapping? I'm mapping the cards. I'm passing the cards inside it, right? So I'm passing it inside now. I'm passing the card inside. Passing the card parameter inside it. And for this now, then I go ahead with my card component. And for this now, I'm going to be saying that the key. So map it with the key. The key. Title. Then I have my title. My title will be card. The title. Then from there I have my description. Description equals to card dot description. And I save it. As you can see, we have a beautiful card component that can be reused and is a reusable component. So I would like you to now create a button component and add it inside each of these components now. So I would like you to do that for me as an exercise quickly. Okay, there are two ways to go about that, right? There are two ways to go about adding the button to the component, right? So the first one is how I'm going to show you now. So in this place now, you just add another prop to it, and you call the prop children, right? Children. So and here, so you just call out the children. Yeah. So by the time you call it like this, so this will make it effective. By the time you now say that, okay, from here, instead of the self-closing tag, then close it separately, right? Then from here, you can then now add the button component. As you can see that, can you see that now? It's because I have the children to it. And another method to go about it is that you create the button inside the card component itself. And let me quickly do that for you. So first thing first, come here and instead of this children, right? Instead of that children, you are not adding children to it. You are adding more features to it, like instead of these children, you are adding button text, right? Button text. You are also adding on button click. When the button is clicked, you want it to perform an action, right? And from here, so instead of this children, you are removing the children from it, right? So you are removing the children from it. Then let me clear this. Then you add an element button, right? So an element button, inside your element button, then you can then now add this guy to it as on click function, an on click event, that when it's on click, then let's have the on button click. Oh, sorry, my bad. We have T, right? So we have T here too, right? on button click on button, small letter, then here too, small letter, right? So I'll have to format it now. So from here, then you can then now add inside it. You can then now add your button text, right? You can then add your button text inside it, right? So this is the first step. Now then, as you can see that everything has that button. So now let's pass the text into it as a prop, right? So I want to pass the data from that parent to that children. So from here I'll remove this, right? So I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna remove this also. So it's gonna be a self closing tab now. So here, this is my description, but then I'm gonna add the button text here. I'm gonna say button text. I can just say maybe register, something like this, register. So I'm gonna stringify it. So I can just call it register, right? So let me just copy this one more time. So right. So let me just copy it multiple times. So let me call this register. Let me call this read more, right? Read more, and I can call this maybe sign up, right? Sign up. So now this place I'm gonna say text, button text, button text equals to card dot button text. So we should be able to have that now. Can you see? I have registered for the first button, read more for the second button, and sign up for the last button. So now I want to add an event on it now, that whenever I click on this button now, I want it to perform that it should show the title, right? To do that, I can just easily come here and add an event listener to it, right? So let me quickly just do that here now. So I can just say on button click equals to right, equals to function, an arrow function, and what is the arrow function will do? It's going to do an alert. That what am I highlighting? I'm highlighting the card title. Right, so let's try this out together. Okay, you can try that out with your normal browser and let's see what we have. So I'm going to try that from my own browser from here, from my own end. Maybe because I've not seen it. If you try it, you should be able to see the highlights. So that will be all for now. Thank you for joining this class, and in our next episode we'll be talking about how to use state effects, how to use effects and effects in components in JavaScript and React.